Kia ora, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This week at everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock with news there's still no US debt deal, and that is starting to raise financial market nerves. Also, American retail sales are still in the doldrums, rising minorly above last year's level in last week's same-store assessment, but still well below the expansion that inflation requires just to stay even. And the latest look at the American factory PMI for May shows them slipping from a steady state to a minor contraction. However, that was cancelled out and more by the improving services landscape, where the expansion gathered pace in May and is now at more than a one-year high. In Canada, their producer prices are dropping, signalling deflation may be coming there. Those producer prices were 0.2% lower in April than March, and recall March was also recorded a fall from February. And year on year, they're now down 3.5% lower, also the fastest decline than in March. In Japan, their flash PMIs came in strong. In fact, the strongest rise in private sector activity in almost 10 years. Their services sector expanded faster at 56.8 points, and their factory sector shifted from a contraction in April to a modest expansion in May. And Singapore's inflation rate is rising again, now up to 5.7% in April from March's 5.2%, but down from the peak in August of 7.5%. For them, it is food, housing and fuel that is keeping this pace up, and it is surprising they haven't benefited from the lower oil prices. In Europe, their early look at May PMIs showed their services sector still expanding at a good pace, but their factory sector is still in a small contraction. While not strong in the first place, the latest PMIs for Australia indicate a softening of activity. Their services PMI fell and is now only just expanding in May. Their manufacturing PMI didn't change from its contraction, holding its weakest level since May 2020. And we should also note that the price of copper, a bellwether for the Chinese economy and the global economy more generally, is slipping and is back to levels we last saw last year and down 15% from its early 2023 peak. The US Treasury 10-year yield starts today at 3.70% and down 1 basis point from yesterday. And the price of gold will start today at $1,976 an ounce, and little change from yesterday. And oil prices are $1 firmer at $73 a barrel in the US, while the international Brent price is just over $77 a barrel. And the Kiwi dollar is slightly softer against the US dollar from yesterday, now just on 62.5 US cents. Against the Aussie, we're little changed at 94.5 Australian cents, although that's still near its highest of the year. Against the euro, we're still at 58 euro cents. That means the trade weight index has slipped slightly to 71.2 and just off its 5-month high. Get more news affecting the economy in New Zealand from interest.co.nz. Kia ora, I'm David Chaston. That was 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz.